Hello, good morning. This is Sugalya Murugesan from ZSL. Welcome for the webinar, Selecting a VDI Solution, Keys to an Accurate TCO. The speaker for today's session is Naidu Ganta, Senior Solution Architect, Enterprise Infrastructure, Idea Lab, the R&D Division of ZSL. Naidu will present a quick overview of the market-leading VDI solution considered to generate an accurate TCO and the TCO analysis, hidden costs and benefits in adapting VDI solutions. During the presentation, all participants will be muted. You can submit your questions on the right-hand side of the screen using the chat window. We will answer some of the questions during the Q&A session that follows the presentation and answer any remaining questions offline. Today's presentation will be recorded and posted to the ZSL's TV and webinar page. With that, I would like to turn the presentation over to Naidu. Welcome, Naidu.
And welcome, folks, to this presentation on selecting a VDI solution. And I'm going to concentrate on accurate TCO analysis and things to consider. I want a quick agenda for today's session. A quick introduction to ZSL and this practice area. Then we'll talk a little bit about virtual desktop infrastructure, industry-leading VDI solutions that are out there. And then we'll jump into the TCO analysis about how to things to consider when you're trying to calculate TCO from switching to a traditional desktop to a VDI solution. And then we'll have a question and answer session later. Starting with ZSL's history, ZSL has been around for more than 15 years now. It's a global technology integrator and a solutions provider headquartered in Edison, New Jersey. We have a state-of-the-art R&D division, which is Idea Lab. We have centers in US, Canada, and India. The company overall has about 4,000 employees spread out, pretty much globally. Major presence in US, UK, Canada, India, and also in Asia Pacific and the Middle East. The dedicated R&D division, Idea Lab, offers both value-added R&D services, product development services, and we work with both partners and also solution. And we specialize in our cloud computing technology research and development somewhere in 2008, well before other companies were even considering cloud technologies. So ZSL has been a pioneer in the industry. We have products for the insurance, finance, government, and consumer electronics and the pharmaceutical. And ZSL has been an award-winning partner with partnership portal, working with other ISVs, VARs, and solution providers. And of course, we are an ISO and CMM certified provider. Coming to this area of specialization, it's called Enterprise Infrastructure and Managed Services, based out of Edison, New Jersey. Idea Lab, the technologies that we have in this practice area, 3 or 4 main areas: virtualization, which includes server virtualization, what we are going to type VDI, and also private cloud implementations are part of this virtualization area. The other area we specialize in and work a lot is data center and operating system, Linux, Windows, We do assessments, implementations, deployments, migrations. Pretty much anything that goes on in a data center or on servers. The other portion of this practice is managed services. So we provide remote management, administration, and maintenance services for networks, IT infrastructure, your servers, doing remote backups is also related to backups. And with that, let's jump into today's topic. One of the questions that should be asked or is already being asked is what is happening to my desktops? So there are a lot of disruptions being caused by servers that really revolutionize things in the data centers, and there is an increasing acceptance of smartphones and tablets and other client devices in corporate environments. The system is just a futile delay. It's just going to be the future. Everybody is going and tablets too. Increasingly, desktops, I think, will run in a centralized location, just like our servers are all run from the data center. Even desktops will now be run in the data center. All we'll have in front of us is a simple client device instead of a full-fledged PC. It could be a tablet. It could be a thin client. It could also be an older that you currently have. Can be running your old operating system, but your actual desktop that you're accessing remotely and virtually will run the latest and greatest operating systems and applications. I have some forecasts from, they expect the virtual desktop market to go from 500,000 2009 to approximately 50 million desktops in 2013, which is just a couple of years away. And the revenues for that will go from 1.3 billion to 65 billion. So it's like a huge opportunity and also a huge challenge for both businesses and solution providers. So what are some of the challenges with the current client devices? I use the word client we are currently using. Excuse me. So some of the challenges are from the IT department itself. They're seeing really high costs for laptops and notebooks. Every 2 or 3 years they have to be replaced. The cost is really going through the roof, and in these days of severe budget cuts, it doesn't fly anymore. The other main problem, of course, is the security and operating system patching. So it's a continuous fire drill for a lot of departments running around, patching them, and taking care of the security updates. Even if you have a centrally managed and administered desktop infrastructure, problem of pushing these updates to all the desktops all over your enterprise. Some of these might be in branch offices, some of these may be on main locations, but it's still a pain to push out all these updates to all these devices. The other main portion that a lot of people don't consider when they look at the major challenge of data that's out on all the desktops and what to do in the event of a disaster recovery. So if there is a virus running around in your office and it went around all the PCs and wiped out all the data, how do you restore that? How do you restore the disks for 2,000, 3,000, or even 20,000, 30,000 laptops or desktops? That's a major, major challenge. In addition to the challenge coming from the IT department, there are, of course, pressure coming from the CEO and the CFO They're looking at the whole total cost of ownership for desktops, and they're asking the CIO, how can we reduce this? And this is just going through the roof. And also business and IT risk. That's just like I talked about, disaster recovery and data protection, and data leaking out from people's laptops and notebooks. People lose laptops, people lose notebooks when they're traveling, or they're just plain stolen from people's desktops. So how do you manage that? The other concern coming from the CEO is business agility and time to market. If a major portion of the IT department is running around maintaining PCs and desktops and laptops, these are resources that are not being utilized to make the business more agile or reduce the time to market for bringing in new software, new application, new products, and new services to the market. Then there are the user demands. So there are a wide range of devices out there. I want to bring my own device. Maybe I have a tablet. Maybe I have a smartphone. I need to be able to access my app. There is the mobile workforce. It used to be in the old days that only the field engineers and the sales staff were outside the office, and they needed to access applications. But nowadays, they need to be anywhere, and they should have the ability to access their anytime, anywhere. Recently, just yesterday, we had an outage at our office because of a hurricane, and we did not have power at the main office. But because we have our infrastructure, which allowed us to work remotely, even though none of us were at the office, most of our work got done. We are not 100% there, but because our through home and other locations. Some of the pain points that we talked about are the benefits DI brings in. Financial rationalization. By that I mean reducing the TCO, both capital expense and operating expense, and improving the hardware utilization with fewer servers, and also less money spent on storage. So when you consolidate all the disks that are out on laptops and netbooks into a SAN or a NAS or even a direct attached storage, that even though that reduces your overall costs. And instead of having tens of thousands of laptops, we have a fewer servers and some simple to manage devices out on desktops. And the next one is to improve IT support and operational efficiencies. Again, goes back to one of the items that the CEO is worried about, business agility and how to best use the IT resources. It really increases control and visibility with unified management that VDI allows, and makes much more easier than the current infrastructure. I won't go through all of them, but some of them are obvious. They provide assurance for technology updates. When you're doing a virtual desktop infrastructure, it's so much simpler to update the few gold images that you have on the server, and then push out that image out to, you're really not publishing that image, and then users are accessing that image running on the server from their client device. So you don't need to update the client device every time there is a operating system patch or a security patch. You just do it on the server side, and next time the user logs in, they have all the updates. And the same way, if you're going to the latest Windows 7 operating system, Microsoft is talking about Windows 8 already, or a new version of an application, you can do that easily. Excuse me. The next one is deliver consistent experience for the desktop. So now with a centrally controlled and centrally administered desktop, you can now have a more uniform desktops to your line of business users. So this will standardize desktops, and also when people call a help desk with a problem with their desktop or an application, the help desk and the service desk people are able to provide a more consistent, a quicker turnaround to resolve issues. And of course, the stage of enhanced self-explanatory becomes much more easier to see what's going on with PC, with desktop applications. You're all controlling it in one place. Business continuity become much more. Well, the possibility of delivering the desktop from a public or a private cloud service. So now you're going to gain the advantages that the server virtualization has given. First step is server consolidation and virtualization. Then now the servers are being deployed in cloud infrastructure, which allows us to really benefit from the efficiencies that can be public clouds and private clouds. So some more VDI benefits. This is a major one, desktop management and support costs. Because you're running all your desktops in like one location, from one load organization has of being able to support various devices, laptops and notebooks, and only the clients accessing that virtual desktop are different. But the actual image of the desktop that is running on a standard server, and it really opens up the anytime, anywhere, any device access. Now users can, as long as there is a client software available for your particular device, you can use that. And you can access it from anywhere. You don't need to be at the main office to be able to do that. And greater security, we've already talked about it. All the data is in one place at the server side. You don't have to worry about somebody's client device or a laptop or a notebook getting lost, with children pouring water over it, or, you're losing it in an airport. So all those kind of security issues cannot be used to run the latest operating systems. You can mitigate that problem by putting a simple VDI client on these older PCs and then running the latest modern operating systems. Now we'll talk about some of the industry-leading solutions that are our features. I won't go, these are well-known facts, so I'll just want to quickly go through. The first one we are going to look at is the Citrix Zen desktop. It's along with Microsoft with terminal service applications. So Citrix a few years invested in the Zen hypervisor, which is a Type 2 hypervisor. They've brought that in Zen server, and now Citrix has been using the Zen technologies to also do desktop virtualization. So some of the features that Zen desktop has, they have excellent local peripheral support, any key USB device, any local printers. They provide excellent support driven desktop restart. This is like users are able to restart their applications and desktops, and gives them finer grained control. If I don't want to, if I'm working on an important document, I don't want to do a reboot when it is convenient for the server administrator, I can delay that, and I can say, hey, even though there's a new image out there, I'll continue to run the old image for a little while longer while I finish my something like that. It provides very smooth roaming and multimedia support. Another key feature is universal print driver. I won't go through all the features, but here are some of the main ones, like virtual machine infrastructure, meaning a Type 2 hypervisor can run both on a client device, which is x86 compatible, and desktop assignment. By this, we mean each department or even in each individual user can have like a specialized, customized desktop, even not customized, it's just everybody. And I'm going to move on to the VMware server hypervisor that they now adopted for desktop. Again, it's a simplified desktop management. They were the first to support Windows 7. Nowadays, everybody supports Windows 7, but VMware View were the first VDI solution to support Windows 7. They have what is called streamlined application management. So in addition to managing the OS image, you can manage individual applications that are running on a virtual desktop, and which provides a very fine-grained approach to different users having different applications. So they are able to have a very fine-grained control over what each user sees. Automated desktop provisioning is also aligned with application management. So once a desktop is provisioned, it automates it. You don't have to install each and every component of a desktop operating system. You script it, you automate it, and it really makes the life of the administrators, it makes it simpler. Advanced virtual desktop image management. So what this allows is to build a virtual desktop image in one place and distribute it to all your branches. If you have branch offices, really automates virtual images at each office. You start with a central image visualized for each region or each. The remaining ones, they're pretty generic features available with just about every other solution. Then we move on to IBM VDSB, which stands for Virtual Desktop for Smart Business. One of the unique features of the VDSB solutions is it supports both Windows and Linux. The other two solutions that we talked about today do not support Linux desktops. And IBM's solution also provides a single console for management and administration. It's a really well thought out console where all the features, everything that you need to do to manage users, to manage desktops, to manage the server infrastructure, both at the main locations and also branch offices and remote users, it's all integrated into one console. It really simplifies the life of the administrators and the desktop management folks. The other advantage IBM solution offers is a very high density usage of CPU and RAM. By this I mean that the number of user sessions, also the RAM utilization, because they have memory deduplication features on their VDI infrastructure. They're able to utilize a smaller amount of RAM to support more desktops. And the other feature that IBM has really thought out and integrated into their solution is a cost-effective storage. IBM solution does not require a SAN or a NAS, and with integrated or built-in or what is called direct attached storage. So it really reduces your costs when one of storage costs is one of the big expenses that any virtual desktop infrastructure solution really tackles that problem and provides a very good solution. And it uses a Type 1 hypervisor, which is used both for online and offline, and is also used in the branch office VDI. The other features are the gold image provisioning that IBM has, and it really helps with the separation of the OS image, user profile, and user data. So with this, the user is able to do their own customization of desktop the way they want it, with an OS image layered on top by user data, there are advantages both on the administration side with efficiencies coming in, and the user also gets their own customized view and experience of the desktop. So those are some of the main features. And of course, IBM does a good job of building in Tivoli and Active into their products. This one is a favorite of ours because it's a homegrown solution. PowerCube DAS is ZSL's innovative VDI solution. We've had the solution for about 2 or 3 years now. The technology is similar to IBM's. We have some unique advantages in enabling green IT and eco-friendly infrastructure. And it makes centralized the reality. Include disaster recovery and business continuity right into our PowerCube solution. And the multi-desktop environment, one of the features is that we are able to provide to the same user, they can have a Windows XP desktop, they could have a Windows 7 desktop, or they could have a Linux desktop. And depending on the use or the application they want to use, each user can, in turn bring up any of those 3 desktops, or they can choose one and stay with it. And of course, we provide all the security and optimized resource sharing like any other. And also, we uniquely suited for a cloud-based deployment, both in the private cloud and, of course, in the public cloud. And PowerCube has gotten some industry recognition. It won the CTO award from IBM Lotus Awards, and also it was a finalist at CompTIA. Pitch. A quick chart that we put together comparing IBM's VDSB with VMware View and Citrix Desktop. Excuse me. IBM. So most column, IBM solution. The technology is very similar for PowerCube, so all these features also apply for the PowerCube, the leftmost column. They also apply for PowerCube. So I won't go into detail here. This is an overview of what we are able to do. Some of the things. The second line, highest density for VDI. There are 12 to 16 desktops per CPU core, whereas the other solutions are limited to about 4 or 6 desktops per core. The next one is the cost-effective storage. That allows that doesn't make high demands on storage infrastructure, so we are able to use local storage. The other two solutions really do not support that because they don't have this unique cache I/O feature. The integrated offline VDI, the VDSB and the PowerQube solution use the same hypervisor no matter if you're at the office or if you're doing an offline VDI session or you're in a branch office, it doesn't matter. We use it all throughout this. The VMware View and Zen Desktop, because they are dependent on Type 2 hypervisors, when they're in the offline mode or in the branch office, they have to do hypervisor to support those features. So, and then there are 3 or 4 other advantages and differences. The other main one, the last one, is the Windows and Linux desktops. Linux desktops that are supported by VDSB and PowerQube and Zen Desktop. Okay, so moving on to the main topic that we've discussed today, that we are going to discuss today, is the TCO analysis when you're choosing a VDI solution. I want to go through some of the main areas of a TCO analysis that you need to consider when you're doing a VDI TCO. And the first one, device cost.